Assalamualaikum. Today I would like to show you how you can turn any simple HTML table into a rich data table. Data table is a very powerful library which allow you to do sorting, then searching, and then pagination and many more features. After using the data table, I would like to add some custom table which will allow you to display the columns you want. Suppose you have a very long table, now you want to see some columns, then you can easily hide those columns and hide all the columns or show all the columns and select the columns you need. So let's get started. First, I'd like to start with a simple table. So table, t-head, t-body, and then bunch of rows, and at the end jQuery and Bootstrap. So I'm using the Bootstrap library. So first it would look like this. Then you would like to add the data table. So you and then download their resources. I have added data table files in my assets folder under data table, the JS, bootstrap.js and bootstrap CSS. So let's add those resources into the code we have. At the bottom, add these files, the jQuery data table JS, data table bootstrap.js and bootstrap.css. Next would be to convert the table into the data table. So let's add the script tag and then the JavaScript code. Note that my table has an ID, my table, so I'm using this my table ID and the data table function, and this will convert HTML table into the data table. There you have it. That is fairly easy. Now I'd like to add a drop down and check all the columns that I would like to display or hide. For that I would like to add another JavaScript library, multiple select. From here you can download the library. I will add all the links in the video description. The files has been downloaded in JS, the multiselect.js and CSS. So add those resources, the multiselect.js and multiselect.css. Next would be to add the drop down at the top of the page. Let's paste the code. Here I am adding all the column names and value is sequential number starting from 0, because data table provide an API to hide or show the column its visible function. It takes column index starting from 0. For example, if I add this code column 0.visible 0, then it would hide first column. Note that the serial column is disappeared. Similarly, we would show and hide this column dynamically. So let's remove this code and add the multi-select codes. This is the simple multi-select code using multi-select function. Here I am using the toggle column ID, which is the multi-select fields ID. I'm going to use three functions of this multi-select: on click, on check all, and on uncheck all. On click, I would like to show that particular column. On check all, show all the columns, and on uncheck all, hide all the columns. Now let's create a function for hiding all the columns. So this is the hide all columns function. I'm using a rule loop running 12 times. This is the number of columns in the table. So my table.column, for each column it would make it visible 0. That means it would hide all the columns. So let's call this function into uncheck all event. If you unselect all the columns, it would hide, but now it won't display because we haven't added that code. Also notice the width of the column is not enough, so the column names are cut off, so we need to increase that. So let's go back to the code. In the multi-select there is an property width. You can set it to 200 and it will increase the width. In the same process, let's show all the columns. So the function, this time I'd like to set it visible equal to 1 so that the column would be displayed. So I'm going to call these functions into onCheck function. After refreshing the page, if you select all, then all columns will be displayed. Selecting again would hide all the columns, and selecting again will show all the columns. But you can see that the width of the table is reduced, so we need to change it. After showing all the columns, you would like to set width of the table to 100%. The last thing would be the on-click event. So in this situation we need to get all the selected elements and then show those columns. This code would do the trick. So multi-select has a function get selects, which will return all the selected items. First we would like to hide all the columns, then loop through all these selected items and then make that selection as visible. So let's refresh the page. After refreshing, you can see that the select all, unselect all has been working, and individual item would also display. So that's it. Thanks for watching.